Hello everyone, welcome to Club Reaction to Celtic 2, Rangers 1. I am Scott Carney and Ali Pearson.
Copy and paste from several times at Parkhead. Disappointing for Rangers ultimately, but we need to move on.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one to take this, to be honest. I think I was expecting more. I really was expecting more. I'm not one for, I'm going to stun and make excuses about anything really. I just don't think Rangers were at it today. I thought there was far too many players that didn't show up, and ultimately they take their chances and we don't. The starting 11, Ali, we got a bit of a boost. Obviously, we've seen Lundstrom and Goldson that came back into the team. The rest was as you would expect.
Yeah, I had a wee sneaky suspicion with Kilmarnock when he said about free train. I knew Goldson would start. Lundstrom I thought might come in, and as you say, the rest of the team picks itself. With Dessel's only striker we've got, so he's the only guy we need to go with.
Yeah, in the game itself, Rangers started alright for the first maybe 7-8 minutes, something like that. We were really trying to compete with them as best as we could, but after that we fell away. And we fell into the same thing we've seen so often at Parkhead. I don't know what it is. There's obviously something mentally wrong with this team, because we just don't seem to be able to perform at Parkhead. We get caught by a stupid goal, in my opinion. The boy Bernardo has got as much time as he likes in the box after a pretty poor Seema clearance, to be fair. It falls to him when he buries it and he makes it 1-0. Ali, at that point I thought, as you've already said it, this is just the same story.
Yeah, I thought we started bright, to be honest. I thought Rangers were decent the first 10-15 minutes. I thought we were knocking the ball about decent without really creating anything, to be honest. But then Celtic get a corner kick, and how many times we can't deal with balls in our box, can't deal with it. Seema, a weak header, falls to that Bernard, nobody near him, splashes in the back of the net. You're looking at each other at that point and going, it's a movie we've seen before, Carney. And at that point you're deflated because you can't see Rangers picking themselves up. Again, for me it's Ryan Hart's on about it, it's a mentality thing. Rangers don't have, these group of players don't have the mentality to win big games. Unfortunately, Celtic, who I think probably the worst Celtic team in a couple of years, still have the mentality to go over the line in these big games, and that's the difference for me between the two teams.
Yeah, I can't disagree that there's definitely a mentality issue now. We've all spoke about how Kilmarnock's come in and he's changed the mentality and this and that. I always said that I would judge it probably after we get to this game, and there's still problems there. It still runs deep throughout the team. We had chances. I thought Rangers responded pretty well from going a goal down.
You did, yeah.
But see, when you've got Dessers up front, who is Dessers, and as much as I've backed the guy, and I've tried to back the guy because the only option that we have, he is not good enough to be a Rangers striker. Ali, the chance that he had when he broke through, I was standing towards the back, against the back wall of the pub, mate, as he was breaking through, and I didn't get excited, and ultimately he makes an arse of it.
Yeah, I actually turned and looked at you and you were just standing there because you knew, everyone knows, just Dessers running quicksand for me. Cyril Dessers, I think he's the last guy we've got because of injuries we've got, and we want to get behind him. He showed flashes have been alright, but overall he's not good enough to be the Rangers. You see the difference. Celtic with the boy Kyogo, who hasn't played well this season, but he scores goals against us. They've always got a striker that scores goals against us. We don't. If I'm playing against Cyril Dessers, I know Celtic had a weak back line, Scales and Welsh, but if I'm them, I'm marking Cyril Dessers. He doesn't strike fear into me, and ultimately we need a striker. I know we've got Sylvan, but we need a striker in January, big style, because Cyril Dessers is not up to be a Rangers player.
He isn't the answer, no, he really isn't. And as I say, I kind of almost feel sorry for him in a weird way. I do, but
a nice guy, but
as he was breaking through, I was like, he's not scoring this. He just isn't going to score. Look, as well, arguably you could say Rangers were playing a better team in the first half. I thought we created the better chances. However, we're not taking the chances. We are. The front line is a problem, and I'm going to include Todd Cantwell in that as well. He was nowhere near it. I mean, it looked like he'd been gave the task to try and keep McGregor quiet. He failed in every aspect of it. He really did. But yeah, every time Cantwell got the ball, McGregor was on top of him. It was just all a bit of a mess. It really was. We get to half time 1-0, but we start the second half in the worst possible way. Connor Goldson is posting missing when that ball comes to Kyogo. I don't know what Goldson is doing here. Credit where it's due, it's a fantastic finish, generally a great finish. The biggest problem that we have, Ali, is that nobody in our team does that.
Again, it's the difference between the two teams. They've got players that can step up and score big goals. We don't have it, unfortunately. There's not a guy in our team I would look at, apart from Tav, free kicks that would step up and score a big goal. We don't have it. Kyogo, he was quiet in the game, but what's that, 6 goals he's scored against us Rangers in the last few games?
But he scored fucking none in the start of the season.
Again, we cause our own downfalls before it falls to Kyogo. We should deal with it, we don't. Hands up, it's a fantastic goal by Kyogo. Jack Butland's got nothing in it, 2-0. We're looking at each other, Carney, and going, this game's over, done for me.
Yeah, game's absolutely over. I felt exactly the same. As soon as it went 2, it was the worst way to start the half. I thought, well, that's that. Really, that's that. Things go from bad to worse as Balogun fucking does what I don't know.
Doesn't help him.
No, he doesn't. I don't think any of the centre halves really cover themselves in any sort of glory today. Balogun brings a man down. It's a stone wall, Red. It really is. I'm not going to have any sort of complaints about it. He deserves to be sent off. We then get the flurry at the end where Rangers seem to find a wee bit of wind, kind of out of nowhere, but too little too late. Tavernier's free kick's a belter. I think Hart will be disappointed he didn't save it. He did get a hand to it. Too little too late. Look, at the same time I'm going to criticise Tavernier because the entire game I thought he was poor.
I thought he was poor. His final ball was poor.
But he is the guy that scores his goals. But again, it still harps back to the problem that we have. That our right back is our most prolific goal scorer.
Yeah. It's a great goal by Tav, but it's too little too late for me. We're down to 10 men. I'll be honest, when I went 2-1 Celtic, they didn't shit themselves, but you could tell they were like, because there was 8 minutes to go, but there was folk in the pub here watching it going, can we do it? And for me, I know you were the same, Carney, I didn't see it. You've got boys, you've got Dessers on, obviously Scott Wright come on, from McCausland come off, Dowell come on. I never seen Rangers scoring a second goal, I really didn't. I didn't think Celtic were great the last few minutes, but they seen it out, and that's what they had to do. And ultimately, they won the game. They get 3 points.
They do, and they get the bragging rights. Unfortunately, that's the way. That's the way that the cookie crumbles. Look, in terms of where Rangers are, I thought it would be closer. I thought we would make a better of account for ourselves today than what we did. And I'm not going to lie, even with a depleted squad the way that we have, I thought we would do more. But ultimately we didn't. There's too many players that have let us down. Cantwell, nowhere near it today. I mean, really nowhere near it at all. Tavernier again. He
needs to be more of a team player for me, Cantwell.
He was too greedy.
There was several times. There was one in the first half, I thought he could have slipped it to somebody, and he tried to do a trick, if you know what I mean, and have a shot, but he needs to be less selfish, Cantwell, for me. And I think he's one, Carney, that Clermont might look at moving on in the summer.
Possibly.
I really do.
I
don't know if he fits the mould of what he wants.
Yeah, possibly. I think Sterling did okay in the middle of the park. I don't think Lundstrom was really that fit, to be honest. I don't think he looked like he was really on his game. And apart from that, I'm struggling. I thought Seema was really poor. Really poor today.
For me as well. He's a young lad. I thought he tried at times. Off the ball for me, he needs to improve. He loses his run all the time.
He does.
I'd maybe pull McCausland out for Kilmarnock when we play them in the next game, but he's a young lad. We'll need to stick with him. He wasn't the cause of it, but it's ultimately it's disappointing, Carney, because it's a missed opportunity. But how many times have you went to Parkhead and we've seen this? We've only won how many times? Twice at Parkhead in the last 10-11 years. So.
Look, as well, obviously there's the kind of the situation around the Johnson handball. If what we've seen is correct, it seemed as offside.
Well, they showed it was offside.
So there you go.
Why they didn't show that?
Why at the time?
At the time of the goal.
Took about 65
Everyone
minutes.
would have went right, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, and just the usual stuff like McGregor not getting booked to 85 minutes when he made 6, 7, 8, 9 fouls. But again, that would be me clutching at straws trying to make excuses against officials.
Didn't affect the game.
I don't think it affected the game seriously enough. No, I really don't. I still think there's more for Rangers to do in it in order to call out referees more in terms of the decisions that are made, but ultimately I don't think it cost Rangers the game, and I think if you believe in that, in my opinion, you are clutching at straws. Ultimately they took their chances today and we didn't. Going forward, this board have a massive job to do in January. I don't care how they do it, I don't know how they're going to manage to do it, but they need to back this manager. They're going to need to get players in, because right now we can't continue on with, no disrespect to McCausland, to Seema, to Cantwell, but Dessers especially for me, he can take disrespect to it if he likes. He is murder. He really is shockingly bad, and I can't continue to pretend that he's okay, because he isn't. We need firepower, and we need proper firepower quick. And I think even at the back line, Balogun doing what he done today, I know he wasn't helped by Goldson, still to me just highlights that we don't have the team.
They're playing a guy that was apparently our fourth choice centre.
Yeah, exactly. We need. There is strengthening of the squad required all over the pitch, and it's not all going to happen overnight. I do get that, but I think it's crucial now. The board are going to need to back Kilmarnock. They're going to need to give them some fun somehow to do something. Ali, today has been a very thankless task, mate. Thanks very much.
It has it's a big game for me that Rangers have failed in again, and it's a pattern for me. These group of players fail in big games. Yeah, we won against Aberdeen in the cup final. It's Aberdeen we're playing. When it comes to big games, they fail for me. Clement's probably seen it. I think he knows who he wants to get rid of, which is easier said than done. He'll identify positions, but for me, Rangers need to beat Kilmarnock in the next game, which will be tricky because they're going well, Kilmarnock. We need to beat Kilmarnock, and we need to go into January break and look to bring players in. Today, in the grand scheme of it, isn't a disaster because the amount of points Celtic have dropped. If we win our games in hand, which is again easier said than done, it's back to 2 points. There's still a title race on, but big changes need to be made in January for me, and players need to step up because Celtic, unfortunately, have it over us at the moment, and we need to change that.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do, especially at Parkhead. I think they've very much got it over us just now. And yeah, look, not the reaction I want to be bringing you today. I think you understand that. It does. It's a bit of a tough one to take because I thought I would see more from this Rangers team, and ultimately we haven't. I think it highlights all the problems that we already know about. But it is what it is. Happy New Year and all that nonsense. We'll speak to you on Tuesday after the Kilmarnock game. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everyone.